This is Taylor Wickberg's presentation of Technique 15, Revealing Character with Background Detail. I chose the book The Summer My Father Was 10 by Pat Brinson, illustrated by Andrea Shine. The main point of my technique is going to be the little things about the character are revealed through illustrations and then details in those illustrations. So my students, I would have them recognize and look at the ball and the baseball, and what we will find out later in the story, the tomato, really have deep meaning for the father. And then the other main character in this book, it reveals that they have hard work, determination, but might need a little help finding that hard work and determination. So that's a little bit of a foreshadow, kind of seeing what the garden might be. So this is the first page. This is the father and the daughter, and the father is teaching the daughter how to garden. We can see that it is at a beach area. You can see the clothes in the background. That just reveals that they are very serene people. They are hardworking. You can see the mud on his jeans and hers as well, and the dirt on her shirt. And you can see that they are really determined to get this garden planted. So even the little details like the skin, like the dirt on his knees and hers, shows that they are willing to work hard to get a great garden out of it. So now we are going to go kind of in a flashback. So this is Mr. Bella Vista, and we can see him sitting in his garden. He lives in an apartment with the father, but the father is about 10, so we're flashing back. And we see him sitting in his garden with very distinct flowers. I mean, we've got some daisies over here and stuff, but we also see a radio, some tea, and a dog. But the thing that catches my eye, might catch some of the students' eyes, is this this mysterious guy. We see him about 2 or 3 times in this book, and he's just a sculpture in Mr. Bella Vista's garden. He's never really explained who he is or what he is there for, but that reveals a little bit about Mr. Bella Vista and that he might value, we don't know if this is a religious person, a religious thing, or anything, but looking at the page, something catches my eye. I do see some boys down in the garden, in the gardens here, and then they're downstairs, it looks like, and that just reveals that maybe the father was watching Mr. Bella Vista look at his garden, plant his garden, put hard work in the garden. We also do see a rake and some stuff. As the story goes on, the boy, the father, is playing baseball, and he hits the ball over Mr. Bella Vista's tomatoes. And as we can see the comparison of the tomato and the ball, same shape. So if I'm working with younger students, I would explain that a tomato looks like a baseball with the same shape and kind of the same texture. But we also see that the boy likes to play rough in baseball. He looks like he's a little sweaty and his hair is all kind of messed up. So that just reveals that he is a hardworking boy, but just in a little bit different way than Mr. Bella Vista. Then they decide to throw the tomatoes, which is not the best decision, but I think that I like this book because it shows all the details. He might have got hit with a tomato here, or a pepper, or something. They were throwing it at each other. And just those little details on those shirts is just really amazing. Looks like they're having fun. The boys are throwing tomatoes and ripping up the garden, which is not the best decision. And if I was working with students, I would ask them, how would you feel if your garden or something you worked hard for got ripped up, and see their response, and then ask them to maybe draw or write about it. On this page, we can really see Mr. Bella Vista's pipe. That just reveals that he might find value in something like that. But we also really look at the structure of his face and his disappointment in his hat. It's a little bit of an older story, as we can tell by the clothing and the clothing on the boys and Mr. Bella Vista. Here again, and he's just picking up his mess. These are really great illustrations, lots of detail, but not too much. All right, at this page, it really shows that the father apologizes and feels bad for what he did to Mr. Bella Vista's garden, and that he really wants to help him plant a new one. And this is where the father starts to really value hard work and determination through planting a garden. So the garden is going to be the background detail that we're looking for, because we saw it in the beginning, at the beginning stages, at the first page, but we don't know how he learned to plant a garden or why he finds value in planting a garden. And this page is really where it shows us that him and Mr. Bella Vista worked hard, got down and dirty kind of, and into the garden and planted a beautiful garden. Then we see this little cat on the corner. This might be Mr. Bella Vista's cat. We don't really know. It doesn't show or tell us about any of it, but just that little detail of the cat is really important. So we're at the end of the book. This is the father now, and this is his daughter. And as you can see, their garden is really blooming and starting to grow nicely. And I think the illustrations for this book were very well used, because it shows that at the beginning, the father, when he was a boy, didn't really value hard work and determination in something that didn't interest him much. But when he sat down with Mr. Bella Vista and learned about it, got his hands in it, helped him out, he found value in it, and it really showed his background now of why he loves planting every year and why he likes gardening. So I think this book is a great book for students to read, or have someone read it to them, because it really has a baseline of determination and shows the background of maybe the father and how he grew up a little bit and found out the value of stuff, and maybe he did like gardening all along, but he didn't know until Mr. Bella Vista found him.